Thank you and welcome to and y'all can ignore the screen for now. Welcome to I Am Dope, which somebody tell me what I Am Dope stands for. Sure, London. There, there's definitely three people in here that should be able to tell us. Go ahead, Miles. Thank you. Developing ownership of personal empowerment. And welcome, Samuel Thomas. So what we like to do, of course, I Am Dope is part of the Bull City Bruins, which is a basketball program. But what we like to do is focus both on and off the court, heavily off the court, largely because what we like to help you guys do is identify with great mentorship within the community so that you can see that there's more than one way to obtain whatever your career is going to be. And that's based on what you're passionate about. And what we do is with great mentors come great passion. So we bring in people who are very passionate about what they do, and they give you some guidelines that they covered in order to get to where they are so that you can follow similar pathways. It doesn't have all pathways don't have to look the same, but it gives you an idea of what it is that you can achieve so that you can put the right work ethic in to achieve. Now, how does that align to what we do with sports? Sports is a tool to teach you, which is what the greater good is, which is what we're doing here today. That's what I Am Dope does. Greater good is it teaches you the discipline you need to have. So if any of you who here play sports, sure. So everybody, not everybody here plays sports, which is fine. But we've met with people in the past who have been involved with sports, but they aren't actually players. We've been involved with people who have been who've been basketball players. We had a symposium recently with two former pro basketball players and then two current NBA level employees, just to give you some insight. So what that means is you can do whatever it is you set your mind to. Wherever you want to be, you can do it. It's just about understanding that. So our guest speaker today is Pamela Moncree. She is a UNCG alumni, and she is the owner of, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's 3 Chick-fil-A's in the area. So let's round of applause for her for taking her time out to come speak with you guys today. Now, hey, give y'all time to settle in. And everybody got their workbooks? We'll start there. So for the people at home who don't have one, I'm going to share my screen.
Because it's not good for you.
All right. So building a leadership mindset. Of course, this brought to you in part by all of those great people. It is now 2026. So for those of you here this week, it's Ms. Moncree next week. It's Ms. Smith on who here is in high school? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Not every is everybody here? Not these two. These 3 aren't. Everybody else is. So next week we're doing our resume building and writing for teens. So raise your hand one more quick time if you play sports in high school right now. All right. Keep your hand raised if your ambition is to be a high school or a college athlete. All right. I would recommend that you come here because colleges look for these too. So make sure you're here next week if you can. All right. So everybody's on the interview. We're going to learn how to manage money early is one of the best ways to set yourself up for success. I say this all the time. It won't matter how much money you make. If you don't learn how to keep it, it won't matter. So we're going to learn a lot about that today. And of course, at 11:40, Miss Moncree will be standing in front to speak to you guys shortly. Our I Am Dope programs include what you're in now, which is the Empower You Youth Academy. We do our youth conferences. We just did the I Am Them conference a couple of weeks ago to end the year. The next one up is a young women's conference called I Am Her, and that's in March. In June, there's a young men's conference called I Am Him, and then we'll do the I Am Them again somewhere. We typically do them somewhere between September and December. We also have our 3 Dog Basketball Academy, which is basketball skills training. Who's here for that today? Okay. So that's also, if you aren't here for it and you want to be here for it, that's from noon to 2. It doesn't cost you anything, so you can stay for it. And then, of course, we have our travel basketball men's teams, which there's 3 of them for now, could be more. And then we have our women's team who is here. If you've played for our men's or boys team and or our women's team, just stand for a second so everybody can see that you're here. That's right. I'm all about spotlights, baby. There we go. All right. Y'all give them a hand. They work so hard. They work so hard. Don't you agree? All right. So required materials today, your intention, be engaging, have a willingness to learn, and have a workbook. Everybody had a workbook and a pencil? All right, good. We've blown through the welcome and the icebreaker. Yeah, let's do that. Of course you don't want to do it. So we're going to start with Jeremiah and work our way to the front.
What grade are you in? Good grade. What grade? 11. You play sport? No, no.
I play basketball, track, football.
All right. Now clap it up for Jeremiah, please.
And I was here in high school and I was freshman. And I played basketball.
Job. Clap it up for Lena.
Awesome. Very good volleyball player.
All right, next, pink sweater. Oh. Go put it that way.
I'm named Lamari. I go to Southern Grove for high school. I don't play sports, but I like playing sports. So it's something.
Nothing wrong with that. Thank you.
My name's Miles. I go to Pamela High School. I play basketball.
I was coming back this way. Oh, go ahead. Stand up. Stand up. You're in what grade? You go to what school? Tell everybody what ECA is. All right, thank you, Devin.
My name is London. I am in sixth grade. I also go to Associate Classical Academy. And I did ballet, volleyball, basketball, and
Thank you all for sharing. Oh, hold on a second. Y'all too. Yeah.
I'm Donald. I am the program coordinator for Iron Dope, and I was the assistant coach last year for Little City Lady Bruin. My head coach, Miss Michelle, she's gonna introduce herself. Can you introduce yourself? Oh, right, she's gonna go. I am, I graduated from A&T, so I have a little history in Greensboro. I actually graduated from Riverside from the school, played basketball here. So ran track, played volleyball. Yeah. I think that covers it.
Before y'all clap, she's being modest. She is also in the Riverside's inaugural Athletic Hall of Fame. So
Thank you.
So if y'all ask where Robbie get his skills from, it's his mama. All right, coach.
I'm Coach Bell. Coach B, K Fox. Yeah.
Her pride.
Yes. And I was graduated from top of I am a head coach from the Big City Lady Board, and I'm also the head coach of the Success with That. How do we go coach for Boston?
I'm also from Greensboro. I graduated from Dudley. I'm the younger brother of Coach B. Former athlete at Dudley, played basketball and ran cross country. I graduated from North Carolina, up here to North Carolina A&T State University also. I'm also 1 year away from receiving my master's degree in business administration. Yeah.
No. All right, thank everybody for having the courage to do that. It takes some courage to be vulnerable in those moments in public speaking, even when you don't want to do it. So I appreciate that from everybody. All right. So we start these off every time we do them with what we called vocabulary learns. These are important to understand different terminologies as you see them. When you get older and you begin to look for different jobs and so on and so forth, you'll start seeing different places use different language and it may throw you off. If you've never heard the language before, it may deter you from applying to places that you are more than qualified to work. But they just use a different language from what you've learned. So with that being said, we're gonna start in the back with Aaliyah. Let's go with the we're gonna do the we do it with everybody anyway. So just vocabulary learn and then read the definition and example beside it. Thank you. Oh, I forgot. There's a Kahoot game after this that the winner gets $25. Is it a gift card or is it cash?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all know what to do with cash money, but but there will be $25 that you can win. So this is the part. Make sure you're paying attention because it can be the difference between you getting that new video game or some new shoestrings. I would say shoes, but you can't buy shoes for $25. You get some cool shoestrings though. All right, Devin, self-leadership.
The ability to manage your thoughts, habits, and discussions before leading others. Example, staying focused on schoolwork without being reminded.
Thank you. London.
Influence, the impact your behavior has on others. Example, setting tone by staying positive during movement.
Thank you. More.
Accountability, taking responsibility for your actions and outcomes. Example, owning a mistake and fixing it.
Thank you. Miles.
Servant leadership, leading by helping others grow and succeed. Example, supporting teammates so the whole group improves.
All right. We actually had a workshop on this definition. Does anybody who came who was here? Devin, London, Miles. I don't know if Lena came to that one. Lena, did you come to a workshop at the Salvation Army? All right. Can either of you three tell me which workshop that was? Okay.
Social entrepreneurship for teens.
Say again.
The social entrepreneurship for teens.
Thank you. I owe you $5. Thank you. Yeah, it was the I don't think y'all came to that one either, but it was the one with Dr. Gene Blackman. We did it at Salvation Army. So he came to speak a lot. We didn't use that terminology the entire time though. So, but that's what he was talking about. It was social entrepreneurship, servant leadership. Same thing. Gene Blackman is a servant leader. All right, confidence.
Even when it feels comfortable. Example, sharing your idea.
Thank you, sir.
Provide for information, getting help solve a problem, or make a decision. Example, a coach giving advice on how to handle pressure during the game.
Good job. Jeremiah. You're on initiative. Sound like you ain't gonna win the game. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, back to you, Aaliyah.
Example, introducing yourself to a guest speaker and asking comfortable.
Thank you. Devin.
Sure.
Responsibility.
Having a duty to manage a task or care of others and being accountable for the outcome. Example, showing this up prepared because others are tired.
Thank you. London.
Dependability, the quality of being trustworthy and reliable. Example, teammates knowing they can count on you to show up.
Thank you.
Generosity, the quality of being kind and willing to give time, effort, or resources to others. Example, helping a classmate understand what's needed.
Thank you.
Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. Example, supporting a friend who is struggling instead of judging.
Thank you. And lastly, flexibility. Thank you, sir. So when we ask the question, what is leadership? It's not a title. It's not a position. It's not an age requirement. There are moments where people younger than me have to lead. There are moments where people who have titles higher than mine have to follow me. Leadership isn't a dictatorship, it's a partnership. So good leaders partner with their followers. It just so happens they know how to get to the end road better. And sometimes that's going to be you. It's one of the reasons why we preach, be a leader in your own role. Doesn't matter what if you're on a basketball team, it's important for you to just be a leader in that role. You don't have to be the star of the team. You just have to be the leader within your role. When you get jobs, that's where that trait will follow you, because you may start in one place, but if you're a leader in your role, it will continue to help you climb the ladder to other places. And sometimes what you learn is you actually like the place that you're in, and you want to build through that and be a leader in that role for as long as you can be in that role. It's not about action. It's not about popularity. You lead in classrooms, teams, families, and friend groups. And small choices create big influences over time. So the attention to detail is going to be very important. So everybody's got their pencils. So I want everybody to write it down somewhere where you can write it. Where do you already show leadership in your everyday life? Even if you don't hold a formal role, roles don't matter. So if you share a bedroom with a sibling, how do you hold a leadership to make sure that the room stays clean? How do you make sure you're leading so that your chores are done? Sharing that task with siblings. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You're in a judgment-free zone. Doesn't matter what you do. But take a couple minutes, write it down, and then we'll go down the line.
Just about, feel like two people in this room are being really targeted right now.
Probably. A little bit. But it's okay. You'll learn from it. That's the purpose of it. Make sure you unlock it. There we go. Zuriel, do me a favor, say something one time. I want to make sure the speaker works.
Hello?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. All right. For those who didn't have to use the bathroom, we're going to go ahead and get your input on this exercise. So, Aaliyah, you can sit.
Making the choice to go to work, knowing that I want to get far. I'm taking effort into doing something that's gonna be better for me in the future.
Good answer. Good answer. Right. Devin?
Save, save up save up for something I need, like a video game.
Okay. Good answer. London?
So leadership at school, because I get all my work done and I get good grades, and I don't let anyone distract me because my grades are T.
Okay, good answer. Yeah, I'll give a hand. We're gonna give a hand for everybody that speaks. Oh, well, freestyle. What's something that you lead? What's something that you find in leadership? Anything, doesn't matter what it is, big or small. Okay. Thank you. There we go. Say again. Going to school. You got to get there. I'll take it. Say again. Okay. Good answer. BJ. Okay. Got to take that leadership. Good. So it's more than having ideas. It everybody just highlighted it. It boils down to responsibility. So in order to be an effective leader, it's important for you to understand exactly what's expected of you and develop the personal traits needed to lead with integrity, confidence, and purpose. We have something Bull City Brews called, and it's coined by Coach Michelle. She took it and gave it ARC, and it's accountability, coachability, responsibility. So, or accountability, responsibility, coachability. So that's the ability to hold yourself accountable, hold yourself responsible, and being more than willing to learn. So it covers those three areas. So let's go through some general responsibilities of leaders. I talk about this all the time. It's this first one is more about attitude, setting the tone through your behavior, how you react. Now I heard a couple of you guys raise your hand. Who plays football? Or any of your coaches ever said be the hammer, not the nail? Yeah, that's setting the tone. You hit guys hard early, you set the tone for everybody around you. That's not necessarily against the team you're playing against, but it's really for the people that you're playing for. Because if you can be a leader and set the tone early, everybody else will follow behind you. So that's why it's critical to be a leader in their role. Probably one of my favorite NBA players, because he's a great leader in his role, is Draymond Green. Because I can name 10 people off the top of my head who should have NBA jobs because they're more talented than Draymond Green. But what gets taken, I guess you could say, for granted, his talent is his leadership. That is a huge talent. And a lot of coaches, you can ask Miss Moncree if you want to. I'm pretty sure she'll tell you the same thing. People who come in that want to be leaders in their roles are more favored to get the job than those who aren't. So it's really about just having that confidence. All right. BJ, what's the next responsibility for what are leaders responsible for? What's the next one? So I just did setting the tone.
Making tough decisions, even when it's difficult.
Yeah. Basically doing something you don't really want to do. Ultimately. Tell me your name again. Bailey. Won't forget it again. Gray sweatshirt. What's yours? Jamari. Won't forget it again. You said Jamari with a J, right? All right. Xavion with a Z? Okay. Bailey, Xavion, Jamari. Got it. Bailey. Thank you. Lena. Thank you. Jamari. Thank you. Jamari. Xavier. That's what I said. Thank you. And London.
Traits of good leaders, like, we're on that one.
Yeah, just name all the traits of good leaders. Mm-hmm. Just you don't have to you don't have to do the dash, just the words before the dash.
Strong leaders consistently demonstrate integrity, self-discipline, confidence, empathy, responsibility, and service.
Thank you. So I'm gonna start with. All right, so everybody just do this real quick. Circle the one that seems to be the most important to you. There's no wrong answer. But of those 6, which one is the most important to you? All right, everybody got it? All right, Leah, I'm gonna start with you. Just tell us which one you picked and why.
I have to be able to help others around who grow so they can also be their own leaders.
Like that answer. Give it up for Leah. Yes, sir.
We, reading what we wrote down?
Yeah, we went past that one. We on everybody is circling traits of good leaders. And then which one is the most important to you? And then we're just gonna come to you. You can just tell us why you chose that one. Say again? No, you hadn't missed a Kahoot yet. It's coming. We're gonna do the Kahoot at probably like 11:10 or so. And then we're gonna give the floor to Miss Moncree.
Next person.
Yes. Devin, which one did you circle? We'll come back to you, London.
Confident, because if you're not confident about the choices you make, your teammates won't trust you to make those choices.
Okay. Thank you, London. All right, Yamari, did you pick one?
You should always do the right thing even when nobody watching.
I like that one. Spike Lee said do the right thing. He did a whole movie about it. All right, Jabari. Okay. There's no wrong answer. Jabari. Good. Okay. Ja. Thank you, Xavion. Did you pick one?
Yeah, I chose self-discipline. Are you gonna expect other people to control their emotions and time choices if you can't control your own?
Absolutely. Like that answer. Good job. Lena? Right, good job. Devin, you circled one yet?
Yeah.
Which one?
This one.
All right, why? All right, I like that. Good job. Braden? You said which one? Okay. BJ? All right, good job. And Miles.
People said like if you can't manage your own stuff, like how are you gonna manage others? Like read, and I also believe if you show self-discipline, that others will see it and then like incorporate it and do it themselves.
Good job. Good job. Thank everybody for sharing. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Absolutely. I like that answer. Thank you. Like I said, there's no wrong answer in any of these. So they all are very good traits of being a good leader. It's important to understand what's more important to you to help unlock that leadership within yourself. So that's why I wanted everybody to just circle one and then we'll go through it that way. But thank you all for sharing. All right.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right, everybody. We are back. Thank the very patient people who've been online. We appreciate you and all that you do. All right, so we're going to do a couple more exercises, and then we're going to get to the Kahoot game. So, and again, Kahoot is for the chance to win $25. Two value meals at Bojangles. So you want those value meals, let's make sure we are being engaged. So here's what I want everybody to do now, and can read along. Just think back to situations in school, sports, clubs, where you have observed leadership in action. Reflect on both effective and ineffective leadership behaviors and list them on the following page. You don't list names. We don't want to out people in here. So don't list any names, just effective leadership I've seen, and then ineffective leadership that you've seen. And then we'll at 11:05, we're going to take those answers from everybody. And then we'll do one more exercise before we get into Kahoot. We're just going to do it this way. We got 8 sections and 4, 6, 10 people.
All right, who wants to share? Who wants to share their results?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
We just share one from each or the whole piece?
I think what we're gonna do is, we're gonna line up, folks to respond, and then, so we'll just, one person per.
Just pick one.
Per response.
Yeah, just one. Yeah, just one, whichever one that is.
Or problem. And I'm gonna go to the NBA with this one.
Okay.
I think, I think a different player on the Warriors taking the game-winning shot instead of Stephen Curry, that will cause a lot of problems, in my opinion. I think that's the real. I disagree with you.
Okay.
I'm good for the fact, just because Steph Curry hits a shot that he
I like it.
Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna hold all the questions I got because it's gonna derail us. So, because I got some questions. I do like the answer though, but I've got some questions. All right. I know who wants to go next. Ari Sanaya. That's who's going next. What y'all got?
Or what?
I know y'all ain't gonna win the Kahoot game.
What
So
Kahoot game?
Right.
why are y'all on here if y'all don't even know what's going? All right, so look, you see
Hold
this right here?
on.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
have y'all go to ineffective leadership. Give an example exhibited here in the last 15 seconds, by the way, of traits that hurt morale or progress.
Our team captains, by the
Go.
way.
Go.
Give us some examples
Yeah.
of ineffective
And-
leadership, traits that hurt morale.
And y'all set yourself up for that one.
Ari, Sanaya, take yourselves off mute.
Can you
Y'all,
repeat the question, please?
y'all can't think of any example of ineffective leadership that you've seen. And use an example of traits that hurt morale or progress.
You said traits that hurt morale or progress?
Yeah. Think of something from leaders. Like
Poor
two team,
communication. Poor communication.
yeah, like something you could see from two team captains.
Well, she
It
said-
may have happened over the last 15, 20 seconds.
And you know, like failing to take accountability.
There you go.
Was that good? Was that good?
It's two of y'all, so give me one more.
We each said one. We
Yeah,
each said one.
She did. Sanaya did.
Okay. All right, I got you.
Thank you, ladies. We'll see you soon.
Yeah,
we'll see y'all
yeah,
soon.
Yeah, of course, of course, of course.
Y'all hamstrings gonna be on fire today. All right. I'm just gonna call people at this point. Lena, give me an effective leadership that you've seen. How the leader communicated. Let's just go with that. Good answer. Good answer. Now your team captains aren't doing that, but great answer. Great answer. Xavier, give me one about how the leader communicated. Give me an example that you wrote down there. That's the last one. Say again. Oh,
That one more time. Actions or behaviors. I'm definitely old. Say that one more time. That's awesome. Empathy is a huge one, folks. Showing empathy. Does everyone understand what empathy is? Do we remember that? Hint? All right, good.
all right, good. So, and thank everybody for engaging, including Ari and Sanaya. So leading yourself first is very important. So before you can lead others effectively, you must lead yourself. That's where we get to the arc, right? Accountability, coachability, responsibility. Self-leadership includes that discipline, the decision-making, emotional control, personal responsibility. Everybody is entitled to lose emotional control. But for those surrounding you, if they're good leaders in their roles, they can help hone in that emotional control. That's why there's no wrong answers. It's nature. It's part of what happens. Don't ever get down on yourself for losing control in those moments, because everybody does it. You see people on the highest end of the spectrum lose it. We see people on the lowest end of the spectrum lose it. Everybody's human. So make sure that you have that great understanding that losing emotional control isn't bad. But when you have good teammates surrounding you, people who are dedicated to being leaders in their roles, they can pick you up in those moments where you fall. And then just accountability, holding the personal responsibility to know that you lost control and learn from it. The worst thing you can do in any situation, especially as it pertains to leadership, is make excuses for why it was okay what you did. You can have the down moment. That's fine. You just can't make excuses for it. Own it, because ownership of it shows that you're willing to change it. Excuses for it means that you're not willing to change anything. And that's probably the worst sign of a leader, is the one that makes the excuse for why, or justifying the bad action. We're going to skip the exercise because that's all going to be a part of Kahoot.
One last thing I want to add, just about emotional control. I just want to piggyback on what Coach D mentioned. Does everybody understand what emotional IQ is? Have you all heard that term, emotional intelligence? It's a little different than your actual intelligence, IQ. Emotional intelligence, part of it is understanding your own emotions so that you can control them, and then understanding the emotions of other people around you so that you understand how to react and respond, and maybe even avoid certain situations. So as far as emotional control that Coach D was mentioning earlier, you've all seen a baby or a toddler have a temper tantrum, right? And you don't really respond to that because you understand it. It's a lack of being able to communicate what the problem is. So, it might be a little bit annoying, but you don't really have a strong emotional reaction to that. So understand that when you have people, your peers, and people that are a bit older than you, when you see certain reactions, and especially those that are those stress reactions, anger, just an adult temper tantrum is what I call them. It's the same type situation. It's an emotional rush, and it's that person is unable to process, and it just overwhelms them, and they tend to have an emotional temper tantrum. So as someone that's observing this, it's really important for you to understand it, so you don't have a typical in-kind reaction, and not allow that to influence your behavior, right? If you're calm, understand what you're seeing, and just, try to manage it like you would a toddler. All right? Just try to diffuse the situation. So having that level of emotional presence is really important. So hopefully we'll have a session where we'll talk a little bit more about emotional IQ, how to recognize your own emotions and control them, and the emotions of others. And that's part of the leadership.
Yeah. We have a workshop coming up called conflict resolution, and that's one of the things they cover in that one. So thank you, Stella. And then lastly, confidence, voice, and servant leadership. So confidence is not about being the loudest. And if anybody in here has ever been in a barbershop, the person who talks about LeBron and Michael Jordan, the one who talks the loudest typically believes they're the rightest. But that's not the case. It's not about being the loudest voice. It's really more about being clear, respectful, and very intentional about what it is that you're saying and doing. And there's no better way to have confidence than preparation. The more prepared you are, the more confident you are. You don't have to be skilled. You just have to be prepared for the moment. You can always build skill. And as a coach, I can tell you what college coaches have said, what pro coaches have said. They take will over skill every day of the week, because you can teach skill. That's why we have the 3-Dog basketball program, and it doesn't cost anything. Because what it actually costs is not financial. It's for you to show up. Because we can show whoever gets here the skill. We can give that to you. You have the will to be there. That's the first part of it. And that's where you build your confidence, which then improves the voice that you have, which actually makes you drive yourself into servant leadership. So they all fall in the connection with each other that way. So serving others increases your influence. So who has a TikTok account? How many followers you got? No, okay. Who has an Instagram account? How many followers you have? How many? Couple hundred. I like this group that didn't raise their hand. I'm sorry, say again. 900? All right. So everything that you do there is influential to the people that follow you. So we also did another, we're actually gonna do another one on social media etiquette. And what to do and what not to do in those moments, because it's everything that you do on social media will follow you. People can see it as public. So I learned this, and I'll leave y'all with this before we get into Kahoot. So, because they don't teach this at A&T, the kid. So, so in my media law and ethics course, one of the things they taught was this was kind of, and this was in the middle of social media, so I'm not that old. But one of the things that they talked about was it's called the closed curtain practice. And I'm not sure that everybody here has heard of it. But basically, if you're in your living room, and it's a concept anyway, but it's actually the right to privacy. You're in your living room and you open the curtains to your living room. Everything that can be seen from your window is fair game. People can walk up to your window, take pictures, they can video record. The moment you open the curtains, you are no longer in the essence of privacy. You have assumed no privacy at that point. People can do what they want to. That's the reason why people take pictures of you out in public, do what they want to with it. Well, not what they want to, but they can take pictures of you in public. But the moment you close the curtains, you now have assumed the right to privacy. So everything that you do in terms of making sure that you keep that good right to privacy, again, to be a good servant leader, is to make sure that you're seen in the right light by the public. So what you don't want seen, you have to close those curtains. What you do want seen, you have to make sure that you're doing it in the way that you want it to be perceived and how you want it to be viewed. So as leaders, pay attention to what you do in the face of it all, in the face of others, so that you can make sure that it increases your influence in a positive manner. All right. Is everybody ready for Kahoot? All right. So let's pull up Kahoot real quick. Wait, where's Jamarcus? There's Ari and Naya.
All right, so let's get going, guys. Sorry.
All right, from here, I'm hands free.
Going.
Please.
All right, question, put it down. We can, move the thing out the way so they can see.
Oh. Whoever put Charles Barkley, we should kick y'all out. Okay.
So does everybody understand how the game works?
No.
Yes. All right, good.
All right, so Mari's in the lead.
So you get points, and that depends on exactly the, so the number of points of weight based on your correctness or accuracy and your
There you go, Lena. Lena took the lead. Uh-oh. Okay.
Self-leadership.
All right, Lena's back in the lead.
Who's leading classroom, doing formal studies, Sue or fall? This is.
Everybody got that one. Okay. Bailey creeping up into the top 5.
Remember, points for speed and accuracy. Say false. Say
Bailey on a hot streak.
You can come back. You can come back from it.
All right. Samuel's getting up. Mari's back up.
Get points for speed too, so let's not forget that.
Servant leaders focus on helping others. What trait involves owning both successes and mistakes? Influence, accountability, confidence, attitude.
Job. We'll see who's in the lead. Still Lena. Lena has a slim lead over Sam.
Let's go.
Oh, no.
Damn. And
Oh.
there it go.
There it is.
There it goes.
All right, Lena. Gotta get quick on the draw.
Leadership over others. Set.
Somebody else first.
Sam still got a slim lead. It's not over, but Jamarcus is making a comeback.
What does this going to mean? Leadership.
Sam's still in the lead.
There's no being how this person.
Y'all can see this.
Nobody listen to this stuff. I was told big ass. Yeah. According to the workshop, leadership is a novice.
Crying.
Okay, thank you.
Hold on now, Lisa.
Sam
Hold
still
on.
got the. It's still a slim lead.
Yeah, easily upset. 5 more questions. Please.
Uh-oh. It was a little tricky. Lena creeping back up. Xavion on the 3-street answer. Heater. All right, 2 more questions. Double the points. Yeah, this one's a little trickier. You got to answer this one.
Ability.
Flexibility. Let's see if this pop somebody up.
Samuel on it now. Giving it up.
Two more. No, three more. 20.
No.
Two more, sorry. Fighting for respectability.
Look at that.
I know that's right. You see us up on there in our leaderboard?
Yeah, we ain't counting it.
That was coming.
All right, it's the last. It's the last one.
Bro, that's lame, bro.
You wouldn't know what's late. No, I'm gonna let this one. All right, tail of the tape.
Just don't lie.
All right, so that D1, I'm not sure. Uh-oh. I like the way it revealed this one. Congratulations, Samuel. You just won $25. I think Samuel is one of the virtual attendees. So I think Samuel will be
I'm right here.
cash apped.
There you go.
Congratulations, Samuel.
Thank you.
Hang tight, after Miss Pam speaks,
Yeah, we'll get your information after
Yeah.
this. We'll do it like they do in the Price is Right. Just
All right.
just hang
Thank
tight.
you.
We'll get your information to send you your prizes.
Thank you.
Up next is our wonderful speaker for today. She is a leader who demonstrates what it means to lead from the inside out through discipline, service, and consistency. Miss Moncree is the owner and operator of 3 Chick-fil-A locations in Durham. It's the one on Hillsborough Road, the one at North Carolina Central, and the one at Duke University Medical Center. She's known for not only business excellence, but for her commitment to developing people, mentoring young leaders, and giving back to the Durham community. She leads with servant leadership mindset, focusing on integrity, accountability, and helping others grow. That's why she's here to talk to you all today. Those values align closely with what we've discussed today. And through her journey, she has shown that leadership is built through daily habits, strong character, and a willingness to serve. Today, she will share real life lessons from her leadership experience and challenge you to think about how you can apply leadership principles to school, sports, and everyday life. So without further ado, if you guys give a round of applause and join me in welcoming Miss Pamela Moncree.
Yeah. So working, can I sit in this seat or you still need me?
Yeah, you can sit in that seat if you want.
Right? All right, first thing I would like to say is thank you. Thank you all for your presence this morning. Thank you for your invitation. It is truly an honor and a pleasure to be among you, because I am one. Any situation, opportunity, you have a chance to learn, you take it, okay? So I appreciate you all. Now, for a disclaimer, I do want to say is that for North Carolina Central University and Duke University, those are what we call licensing restaurants. So there are partners who apply for a licensing from Chick-fil-A Inc. And now I am actually what we call a consultant. So I was hired by Chick-fil-A Inc. to help those groups be able to run their units or their restaurants with, okay? So in actuality, I'm the owner of the Chick-fil-A Hillsborough Road, and I am the Chick-fil-A consultant for those two locations, okay? So that's the disclaimer. Right, so let's get into what we all have learned this morning. I am very excited. Congratulations on the reading. You took this A1, that's all we do. D1, okay, now where did that part come in? This Monday. Okay, so we're talking about leadership inside and out. Now, first thing we can see leadership is the number one thing for me is when people are able to introduce themselves. Introductions, when you are, whatever it is you are participating in, right there is one of the key indicators of learning to grow yourself as a leader inside. How many of you in here feel very uncomfortable to introduce yourself? Be honest. Uncomfortable, right? Right? Some of us, we literally get nervous on this. Even when it's about a friend. Right? Our stars beating, really talking to do this. And then someone's like, oh God, and I gotta stand up too. So learning to introduce yourself is a great skill to help you get better with leadership. Because everything about introductions is all about who you are dealing with on the inside. It takes courage. Coach even said it too with some of the introductions. And hey, thank y'all, because that took a lot of courage. When you have to introduce yourself, it takes courage. You have to show a level of confidence. And then the reason most of us are afraid to introduce ourselves is because we are thinking about how others are measuring us against the confidence of another person in the room. No one wants to go behind the one that didn't mind standing up, turning around to everybody, telling everyone everything about themselves loud and clear. Who wants to go behind that person? Like a crap, you know? So learn to do introductions. It's literally one of the best exercises you can engage in person to help you become a better leader. Because no one knows how you're measuring yourself. No one knows what you're thinking about and working on. So this is one of the best exercises to help you become a better leader. We talk about how we're scared. You know, another thing introductions do, it allows you as an individual to work on your vulnerabilities. And being vulnerable is another key aspect in being a great leader. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable in front of others, especially people you don't know, but even worse, the people who are your friends, because you don't want them to know things about you. You don't want to seem like you're weak. You don't want to seem like you can't do something. You don't want people to know what you don't know. So being vulnerable allows you to become a better leader. Vulnerability, courage, self-discipline. Self-discipline. I may not like to talk in front of people, but when I practice that self-discipline, it allows me to do it when I have to do it, right?
Everybody don't want to talk in front of people. Some of us talk low, some of us talk loud, some of us talk even, some of us talk nervous when we're talking. All those things come into play when you just simply are introducing yourself. So when you practice and work on introducing yourself, you help build a lot of leadership skills and traits. It will always be scary. It will always be uncomfortable. But how do you make it work for you? How do you grow yourself? And when you can do those minute, 2, 3 minutes, whatever the introduction is, and sometimes you're places where the people give you a whole list of things they want you to say, right? And then you're really like, really? Why I can't be one of those where I can just say my name real quick and sit back down? So no matter how long it is or what all you got to say, when you work on learning to introduce yourself, you start building leadership skills from the inside. Okay. That's my number one thing. You don't take anything else away from our conversation today, take that one away. It is just as simplistic as it can be because it deals with the individual person. It deals with you being able to get control of those very emotional things that affect every person in leadership. Remember, leadership isn't about title. It doesn't matter if you're on a winning team, a team that's struggling. It doesn't matter if you're doing ballet. It doesn't matter if it's just your classroom. It doesn't matter. That person that can get control of those fear when it feels uncomfortable, speaking up when I really don't want to, having to be vulnerable, answer questions about myself, those things right there are literally the building blocks of leadership. And I watch it every time. The one thing when Miss Stella asks me, where do you want to go? You want to go first? You want to go last? I always want to go last because I like to get to know the people in the room. I like to get to watch and see when it's time for the introductions. When we have interviews, people are interviewing. I always watch that part when people are introducing themselves. When we just have regular meetings, I always watch who stands up and introduces themselves. That doesn't mean that they're the number one person in the group. I'm just able to figure out and watch the vulnerabilities of that person to learn where to work with that person from. I know where you're coming from when you introduce yourself. So I'm able to figure out how the best that you and I can work together because I know what I may need to offer you and wherever you are. I can tell which one is bothering you, whether it's the uncomfortable part, the vulnerability part, just the self-awareness part. You can tell a whole lot of things from when a person introduces themselves. So it's a two-way street. You learn to get better at believing in yourself as a leader. And then your coaches, other players, other people can figure out where they can help you get better. Okay? So the simple act of introducing yourself is more valuable than what most of us realize. Really, I can almost end with that because you can go everywhere with just that little act. Okay? Right? So, the things we learned today, somebody told me one of the leadership vocabulary words that stand out to them the most. It's one of the words that just stands out to you the most. Whether it's something that affected you before, something you've been part of.
Networking.
Networking? Why?
Well, networking can lead you to a lot of different places. Like, even if you don't know where you want to go, you can find your path through networking.
So good. So good. That little active introduction again. People are listening to you and they may come up to you based on what they heard about you and your likes and stuff and say, hey, I do so and so, so and so. If you're ever interested, let me know. Look me up. Or I have a connection to that. Let me know. Okay? So you got it. Again, it goes back to that simple act of introduction. Networking. Love it. And do you know that we all can begin networking? It doesn't matter what grade, how old you are, what you do, whether you play a sport or not. Networking is key for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're interested in starting a business, learning new languages, whatever it is, somebody else is already out there doing it, a part of it, or knows information on it. So you start networking as soon as you're able to talk. Start networking. Start networking, because none of us get anywhere by ourselves. It takes other people, whether you know them or not. Someone else is always opening doors for you. Networking is so critical. Anybody else? What's the one that stood out to you?
Confidence, but it has like a little to do with networking too. But like, I feel like confidence stuck out to me more because like, if you have confidence, like, I feel like a lot of doors can open up and then like, it'll help you like go through with talking to somebody more. So that's what I feel like confidence should say.
Love it. That confidence. Boy, the word confidence is scary to some of us, though. Confidence, that word is really scary to some of us. But I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Even those that come across confident to you, and it's no longer scary to them, at one point it was. Having confidence is one of the most scariest things to all of us. To hear your own voice sometimes, oh, that can be a little scary. To speak up in front of other people, especially when you really feel and believe you either have the right answer or know the direction or believe that it's a good choice for the group, even just your friends. Always easy, now listen. So confidence comes in different levels at different times in our lives. And that's really the main thing to understand about confidence. We all get it at different stages at different times in our lives. Your level of confidence is no more right or wrong than anyone else's. It's yours and it belongs to you. And how you work on it and how you come about it is all individual. Sometimes we punish ourselves by looking at other people and their level of confidence, but it's about you individually. Celebrate that person's levels, and you acknowledge yours and celebrate where you are. Because obtaining confidence and the different levels of confidence is actually a journey. I've been watching you too. You really truly feel comfortable within yourself, so your confidence comes out and stuff. Do you feel like it was a journey being where you are? Did it just happen overnight, or did you, over the years, did you recognize where you were and how it was coming about?
Like, I still be shy every day trying to speak, but you're gonna have to talk at some point, so it's like just talk. You can just believe in what you say.
I love it. I love it. He said, all of us are shy at one point, and sometimes we're still shy. And that's the takeaway for all of us. Again, confidence is a journey. Just because someone else in the room is very confident, just remember, they feel shy at times too. They feel uncomfortable at times too, but they've just gotten to that place where they understand you eventually got to talk anyway. Right? So good stuff. Thank you too for those. Anybody else with the word that stood out to them the most?
I think accountability only because I feel like someone that knows when they're wrong, they're able to take accountability to own up to it and be able to say it. I feel like that's somebody that's really to gain respect for.
Wow. Accountability. That's huge right there. Having accountability, accepting things, especially if you did something wrong. Wow. That's huge. That's a lot. So you're a senior, getting ready to graduate and stuff, and you're working now,
Yes, ma'am.
okay? You find that in situations now, you're working accountability? How do you think that helps your team progress where you work when people have accountability?
It shows like, cause like everybody messed up at my job, so it's just like for them to tell, if they come to me and ask me for help and they say, yeah, I did this wrong, it's like, okay. You ain't acting foolish, so I know what you did, so I can help you, so not to do it.
Hey, now she said something else is just so clear when it comes to leadership. I can help you. I can help you. So accountability allows someone else in the room to be able to say, it's okay, I can help you from here. We can go someplace from here when we have accountability. When we act clueless or don't own up to something, you know you're broke, whatever in the house. Come on, just say it so we can move on and keep on going, right? Right? Whatever it is. When we have accountability, it actually just frees up. Right? It frees up everything. You can breathe. You don't have to worry about being tired. You don't have to worry about any of that. But more importantly, the coach or the leader in the room can say, good, we can move on. We can go forward. Anybody else? Looking over a word that stuck out to you. Ms. Lena.
Always dependability, because people need to like know they can like rely on you and come to you to ask for help, and like the other way around too. Like you don't have to just go through things by yourself, and you can be able to like other people to ask them for like help and guidance.
Very good. Dependability. Dependability. And when we're part of a team and people can depend on you, it really makes you feel good. It really makes you feel good. Right? It makes you feel you're really part of when you are dependable. And when we're talking about self leadership and things, that dependability is key with the individual. Because one thing most people have problems with when it comes to showing up for practice or a job, not being on time. People can't depend on you. People think, well, I'm the best shooter there is on the team, so it's okay when I get there. It's not. Well, I'm the only one that knows how to operate so-and-so, so it'll be okay when I get there. It's not. People have to depend on you. And when you develop behaviors of self-discipline that you learn to be on time, regardless, that will carry you so far in life. Dependability. When someone say they can depend on you, that right there is one of the best things that a person can say about you. I can depend on Lena. I can depend on Lena. You don't have to be the superstar. You don't have to be the smartest in the room. But can people depend on you? Can I depend on you? A team can only be a team when folks can depend on you. Dependability. Awesome. Is it Zarian? How do you pronounce your name again? What's your brother's name?
Xavier.
Xavier. Xavier, you mentioned a situation earlier about empathy on your football team. I was so impressed with you using that and describe. Can you tell me a little bit? What was it about your team that you felt like the empathy on your team is what helped you all?
That everybody showed kindness.
And why is it that stands out for you?
Because every team you support, you would make it a lot.
That dependability again, that support, empathy. Empathy is huge. Empathy is huge. Leaders, show that kindness. They exemplify that. Am I aware of what's going on with my fellow teammates? Am I aware? Do I have empathy for what is going on with the different teammates? That's what leadership is, having that empathy and being able to allow that to happen across that entire team. Okay? Yeah. Anybody else real quick before we move on? So leading yourself inside out, yeah. Being able to master that introduction is all about building yourself from the inside out. Self-leadership is understanding that people trust you because you have learned to discipline yourself first. Being part of the team, coaching, or just talking to each other about what we need to do. Come on, guys, let's do this and let's do that. Well, people are watching you. If they know that you have mastered or you even working on self-discipline, that's how people begin to trust you. That's how people look at you as a leader of the group or a team. Because people have mad respect for those who try to engage, self-discipline themselves. You're in mad respect. Self-discipline is about mastering your own thoughts, your emotions. We all have emotions. We all get mad. How do you handle it when there's a group and things are still going on? We all get afraid. How do you handle it again when something is going on? We all have lots of things that we're doing and places we want to be and go. But once you make a commitment to something, how do you master your schedule so you be where you're supposed to be when you said you're going to be there? Self-discipline. Mastering those skills builds that trust. And then others start looking at you, a leader, because you are learning to lead yourself. Whether people throw a parade for you or not, people literally are applauding you when they see you doing self-discipline, when you're able to master that. Nobody may never say, congratulations, great job, but people honor that, and people watch you, and people appreciate that. Self-discipline. That was my number one word from the vocabulary list. That self-discipline, everything starts with there and it ends with that. Self-discipline was my number one. Okay, and I am going to bring this to a close. I don't normally do a lot of talking. I like doing a lot of listening. And that is also a key thing with leaders. You should listen more than you're talking. Because when you're listening, you learn so much. You know what's going on. You know what's important to the coach. You know what Johnny, Sue, or Harry is feeling. You know the emotion of the room. You know what you need to do to take your team forward. You know what you need to do to be better. You know what you need to do with that schoolwork that you're trying to master. We listen more than we talk. We grow more and more as a leader. Okay. Resume writing. So I heard y'all talking about resume writing, and that's coming up. You've got an expert coming in to talk about that. And coach even mentioned about those of you in high school. But my little 2 cents I'm gonna throw in, resume writing begins as soon as you can write. You want to learn who you are, know what you look like. You want to learn how to present yourself to others. Because presenting yourself to others is not just about that speaking verbally. Because people are not always going to see you or be in the room with you. learning how to write who you are, what you're about, where you're going is so critical. Know how to present yourself. So I would encourage all of you to attend that workshop. Learn what you can about resume writing. It's really a reflection of who you are. Learn how to put it on paper. Yes, ma'am.
When I was in like third going to fourth grade, we would have these like jobs they would let us do. And they would have us fill out like a paper on why we should be able to do that job. It was like kind of like a resume. And then forgot what it was. But it was like we had also like in electives, we would also have these jobs like eat. No. Wrong. Yeah, they had yeah.
I love it. I mean, that was good practice. When you start being able to put in writing who you are, what you're about, which direction. That's what resume writing really is. It's like your roadmap, just in like a little shortened form to present to others. Okay, so that's good stuff, right? So resume writing, I had with that. You all make sure you do that. He also mentioned that DOPE is about identifying with area mentorship opportunities. We talked about earlier that networking is identifying mentorship opportunities. Networking is for anyone at any age, at any stage. Okay. Learn to walk up to people and ask them about what they do, who they are, where they've been. How do they learn that? What tools, what resources? Okay. Networking. Finding mentorship opportunities. That's for everyone. I'm gonna leave you with this one. Sports teaches you the greatest good. Sports can teach everybody just about anything. I use that almost every day at work. I use some type of sports analogy. Analogy to help people move from one place to the next. If I can find some type of sport analogy, it usually is able to get that person to see deeper or to think a little bit differently. And the reason the sports analogies work so much for us is because we can see where those people have really literally put in practice and time and effort and sweat. And they did things to take themselves to the next level, because so many times when it comes to growing, we all want to, what did you say earlier? I'm gonna give up, right? We all want to do that. We all think we can't do it. We all think we were not successful. We always think someone else is better than us. We always think we're going to lose before we're going to win. So when we watch sports and we're able to take it apart and we start watching and witnessing and seeing, that person just put one more ounce of energy into it. That person just went to the next degree. That person just figured out a strategy. That person just learned how to be a little more flexible. You can learn so much from watching sports, whether you like sports or not. You can learn so much from watching how the games are being played. You can learn so much on being a better leader by watching how people lose. And I want you to remember that one I just said. You can learn so much on how to be a better leader when watching how people lose. But I use sports analogies almost every day to help people move from one place to the next. And you all are surrounded with those opportunities. But again, it's not about whether you like sports or not. It's about what can I learn from that sport. Okay. Well, it has been an absolute pleasure. I will not take up any more of your time. I thank you so much. And I do have a little treat. Chick-fil-A person will never come into the room and not leave a treat. Okay. So we don't want that. Okay. Right. Do me a favor. Can you pass this out here? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Really quick question. What would you consider if you could dissect a great introduction? How would you do that? Like, what would be the parts of a great introduction?
I love the question that she just asked. And I'm gonna answer it in two different ways. I am gonna say some things that I said. But what I would want to leave them is something I said earlier. Learning to do a great introduction is one of the best tools that you can use to work on yourself. So I don't want people to ever feel like there's a script because it shouldn't be. It's about you. And again, it's about you feeling comfortable, you feeling secure. And that comes at different levels with all of us. So I don't want people to ever follow a script because you're introducing you. So you need to be you. You need to be you. Your true, authentic, genuine self when you're doing introduction. And it's the journey of learning how to introduce yourself that I want to get across. Okay, it's a journey. That's where you learn that you learn leadership. That's where that introspection comes of looking at yourself. Okay, but when you are introduction, some things that I would recommend with people, learn how to get comfortable looking at people in the eye. Because when you can look people in the eye, that's a level of confidence. That's a level of confidence. When you can look people in the eye, that says, I'm just as important as you are. I don't fear you or anyone else. This is about us getting to know each other. This is not anybody greater, better, etc. Introducing yourself and learning how to look people in the eye puts everything at a level playing field.
I have a question. The strategic move that you kind of use as far as sitting back first and listening to everybody, is that a strategic move that you use to try to read a room first to see what hat you're going to put on that day? Or how does your mindset work for when you do kind of sit back and look before you start talking?
That's actually one of the number one things I say to most people trying to grow as leaders. And when I say trying to grow as leaders, because we all should be growing as leaders. There should never be a day when you stop learning, stop asking, etc. Always listen and watch first. A fireman never runs into the house on fire until they have all the information, how that building is built, what's going on, what the problem may be, who's in that room. No one just runs into the fire. So as the leader, if you always run into the fire, you done missed so much. You done missed everything. You done missed what's really going on with your players, your team. You done missed it all. All you doing is reacting there. A leader always sits back and watches and listens. Because first of all, leader should never be the one that's always heard. You're trying to learn your people. You're trying to learn your players. If you always talking and you're always the one in the front of the room, then that means they're not saying anything. That's why I done told you 3 times I'm getting up from this position because I need you to be doing the talk. But if a leader is always the one up at the front, how your people get encouraged? How they growing? How they getting over their fears? Are you finding opportunities to move them around on the playing board? So I can give them experience where I know that's what they need more. This one needs more of this, and this one needs more of this. This person needs more of this. This one is good at this, so they need to be paired with this person to help with this, etc. That's where that self-discipline comes in as a leader. When you are able to build those inner discipline things of being able to sit back and be quiet, even when you want to talk, even when you want to be the one that leads the chair out of the locker room. Yeah, as a leader, you shouldn't do it all the time. Just because you're the captain, who's getting ready to be the next captain? What leaders are you raising up? How do you know Johnny is really not that good if we're never putting Johnny in the spot to demonstrate what Johnny can do? And when do you wait to build the next level? When do you wait? Somebody had to work with that bench in order for it to be a good bench. Who's coming off next? Who's getting ready to take the place? That should already be happening. That should be happening before the season is halfway over with. That should be happening at the beginning. A good leader never needs to take the spotlight. He should always be putting it someone else up before me. Even if I can do it. So what? What did you say? It's okay, right? Tell your team member, it's okay. I'm good. We can move forward. So even if they mess up, they don't say it as great as I would have said it or whatever, it's okay. Because you become a better leader when you grow others. And that was part of that empathy and stuff. You have a feeling you are looking out for others. Self-leadership. That's all about servant leadership is all about growing others. How do you grow others? Because when you grow others, you grow as a leader. You'll never ever miss out growing as a leader as long as you're growing others. Now, part of us want to be selfish and say, I gotta look out for myself. That's just a human being part of us. But if you dare to watch out for others first and to grow them, you'll never miss not growing. You'll never miss not growing. It's easy to look out for ourselves first. It's hard to look out for others. But you'll never miss out. Let me answer your question.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Pleasure. Mr. Miles, anything? No. Right. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Hello, in the room. Good to see y'all.
How you doing?
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Well, you two that I haven't heard on the thing.
Yeah, that's Bill.
Good to see you in person. Okay? I love it. I love it. You brought your smiles. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Anything? You good? All right.
All right, y'all. Give a hand for Miss Moncree, please.
Yeah, okay.
What a way to start off 2026. Thank you.